gases trap heat near the Earth through a naturally occurring process called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect begins with the sun and the energy it radiates to the Earth. The Earth and the atmosphere absorb some of this energy, while the rest is radiated back into space. Naturally occurring gases in the atmosphere trap some of this energy and reflect it back, warming the Earth. Scientists now believe that the greenhouse effect is being intensified by the extra greenhouse gases that humans have released. Evidence for global warming includes a recent string of very warm years. Scientists report that 1998 was the warmest year in measured history, with 2005 coming in second. Meanwhile, readings taken from ice cores show that the greenhouse gases carbon dioxide and methane have hit their highest levels in the past 420,000 years. Arctic sea ice is also shrinking. According to NASA studies, the extent of Arctic sea ice has declined about 10% in the last 30 years. As long as industrialized nations consume energy and developing countries increase their fossil fuel consumption, the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will continue to rise. Researchers predict that temperatures will increase about 2 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century. What's less certain is what rising temperatures mean for the planet. Some climate models predict subtle changes. Others forecast rising sea levels which could flood coastal areas around the world. Weather patterns could change, making hurricanes more frequent. Severe droughts could become more common in warm areas, and species unable to adapt to the changing conditions would face extinction. Although much remains to be learned about global warming, many organizations advocate cutting greenhouse gas emissions to reduce the impact of global warming. Consumers can help by saving energy around the house, switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs, and driving fewer miles in the car each week. These simple changes may help keep the Earth cooler in the future.
Cool, you guys. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to just do a quick recap of the most important, parts of that video, right? I'm going to try to paraphrase some of these things. So first off, we know that the Earth, right, the climate is getting hotter, right? The temperature is getting hotter and hotter, okay? And we know that was it 1995? Sorry, 1995 was
1998.
98. Sorry, was the hottest year ever. Okay, so 1998 was the hottest year in the recorded history of the world. Okay, there has never been a year hotter than 1998, as far as we know. Right? Now, in addition, 2005 was the second hottest year ever. Okay? The second hottest year ever was 2005. So we're noticing that every year, right, the temperatures of the Earth are getting hotter and hotter. And this has a relationship with carbon dioxide. Thank you, Home. Yeah. So we notice that carbon dioxide, when carbon dioxide goes up, that the temperature goes up. Okay? And countries, right, like we have USA, Brazil, Nepal, China, Iceland, South Korea, Canada, and all these countries, they use, they make carbon dioxide when they make energy. Right? So today, representatives of all of the different countries are going to discuss, right? Sorry guys. They're going to discuss how can we all help work, how can we all work together, right? How can we all, like one of the school values, right? How can we learn together and work together so that we can stop the world from getting hotter, right? And try to stop this big problem. So today we're going to listen to these representatives from the different countries talk about how can they maybe change their government, right? Change their ideas on how to use energy, right? So that we can stop this very important problem. Okay? Cool? All right, awesome. So yes, let me pass those out real quick. Okay, 9th and 10th graders, you guys are going to get a paper that looks just like this. When you get this paper, you're going to write the names of the people who are speaking right here. So for example, Daniela, can you raise your hand right now, please? Okay, so I'm going to write, for example, Daniela. Daniela, can you say something? Hi, all right, cool. So I'm going to mark right here. Every time that one of the 11th graders says something in this debate, okay? So, Daniela, can you say something else? All right, there we go. Daniela spoke again. Good job, right? So I'm gonna write this, write the names, and then write every time they speak. Mario, can you raise your hand, please? Good. All right. So once again, another 11th grader, right? I'm gonna write all of the names of the 11th graders right here. How many times do they speak? And then finally, what grade would you give these 11th graders, right? You can choose anywhere from 1 all the way to 5. All right, and that's pretty much it. We're going to walk around and pass out these papers. And then Principal is going to explain the rest.
Okay, so for outside circle 11th grade outside circle, everyone has a different job, right? Do you understand what your job is? Rainbow, you understand your job? Yep, okay. Roberto, yeah? Zhao? Okay, Lester, you understand your job?
Yeah.
You understand your job, Melissa? You understand your job, Arnold? Okay. Kevin, you good? Okay, good. So I asked Jessica, she has in her, but they're in her room. There's more in her room. Okay, so just a short reminder. What is the question we are asking right now? What are we trying to discuss? What is the main idea of this conversation? Someone have an idea? Maybe Juan can read it for us. Okay, so let's listen up to Huang so you can tell us, remember the questions that they are answering. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the question is,
Can you guys listen? I want to make sure everyone can hear. Okay, so waiting for a few more people. So, gentleman in the back. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Okay, so let's just listen for the question, please.
listen to MVP, please.
Okay. Yeah, are you ready? Okay, just listen to the question, please. Okay, go ahead.
The question is, which country should reduce their carbon output and by how much?
Okay, which countries should reduce the carbon output and by how much? So, how can we solve the climate change problem? By reducing carbon dioxide. So, I am going to be keeping track of these things. Remember, inside circles, you can get extra points if you use the sentence frames, right? The sentence frames like, what I hear you say is blah, 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 or what do you think, blah, blah, how do you arrive at your conclusion? I disagree with you because blah, blah. So this will help you, remember, right? And I'm going to look to see, do you do these things? Do you try to get someone to respond? Do you ask clarifying questions and you give good evidence? Do you summarize or paraphrase? Do you acknowledge other people's ideas? Do you ask probing, like difficult questions? And do you provide evidence if you disagree? So it's not enough just to say, I think this is the solution. No, you have to say, why? and you have to show some detailed evidence why it's a good solution for your country and for the world. How can this help? Remember, the question is, how can we reduce the carbon output for all the world, right? Not just for your country, for all the world. So, today we're going to begin with China, and Jocelyn will start us up. Okay.
Jocelyn. There you go.
How about my country, China? They use many energy. Their population going increase. China need reduce coal energy because produce too much and use 71% energy from coal. And the solution in the wind energy because the wind energy is free.
As well, I know the hydropower is not free because you need to spend the money to build the dam at the station.
But it's more easier like when you have a lot of bodies of water near your country. It's more easier and you don't have to spend that much.
Yes, but China is not really. How comes the money?
I think we should talk about the topic about how much billion tons of CO2 we should reduce in China. For me, I think China should reduce at least 1 billion ton of CO2 per year because they, according to this white paper, that has the total 2008 CO2 emissions that shows that China produce 6,000 tons, almost 7,000 tons of CO2 per year. So I think they should reduce more CO2 than other countries. What do you think, Camila?
So I basically think that the countries that are the most powerful ones, like USA and China, should change their energy policy because they are the ones that contaminate more. So I think they should change. What do you think, USA?
Since we have a lot of calculation that we put up we will do the carbon dioxide. That's this it cannot avoid to build that much carbon dioxide.
I understand that there's a big population. I understand that you need to use a lot of energy, but there are cleaner ways to do it because USA uses a lot of oil and coal. So you could change it to more, there are renewable ways to make energy, like hydropower.
Yeah, at the same point we have a lot of integration, right? The renewable energy is not produce enough energy that we need.
It does. Hydropower does a lot of energy. Makes a lot of energy. It does. Maybe not as much as oil or coal,
But it's still not enough.
But you can
but
cut,
you can.
you can cut some non-renewable energy, but you can increase some renewable energy to support your energy need.
But how can I take the more money from?
We have a lot of money paid for the coal. Why you don't put the money for the renewable energy?
Yeah, you can take the money from the money that you spend on old people or from the health. You could take money from there.
But also I have a lot of money borrowed from China.
So China, to make this more easier, what do you think you could do to contaminate less?
I think carbon and energy because they get many technology.
So, China, do you agree you will change your energy police, or do you blame other countries like USA, Australia, Canada? Will you change, or do you blame another? Do you think other countries should change their energy policy, not you? What do you think?
I compromise if you change your carbon dioxide to the case that you product fossil fuel energy. I will change my energy use that product carbon dioxide. If China do that, I will do that.
Okay, so let's. Oh yeah, Venezuela. What do you think? Yeah, who do you blame?
Do you change your own country or blame other countries?
I think Canada has too much energy.
Too much energy what does it mean?
Car.
Yeah? What? Car? Okay, we know that Canada is a big country with a big population. We use our resource is all the fact. So, well, fact. Yeah, that's true. So we made a big contamination. So I think the best solution for the country is I have two big solutions for my country. So it's a three solution.
So it means you want to change your country's energy use?
Yeah.
But what do you think, like, how much of the carbon dioxide you should reduce in your country? And what solution you will use?
How can you use it?
How can you change it?
The solution.
And I think you should reduce 1 billion carbon dioxide in your country because you use energy 66% is used fossil fuel energy. So I think you should reduce 1 billion in your country.
1 billion. My country.
What do you think, Anna? What? Clear? What is clear?
Billion.
Billion.
What solution would not
Country are you talking about?
Hydropower? Is there a lot of hydropower in the country? Okay. How much billion do you want to use? The total is 11. Canada will use 1 billion. How much How much do you need?
No, we don't change.
No,
No.
change it. You say you agree.
I'm gonna blame to yeah, the US.
Why you agree?
Because they use mainly nuclear power, right? Yeah.
We nuclear power. We don't use that much nuclear to produce energy.
Use a lot dirty oil.
But he asked is nuclear.
So what do you think? Do you need to change the oil for something for a good solution like the hydropower, the wind?
Yeah, I will do that. I say that already. If China do that, how? I already have the best solution like solar power, hydropower, wind power. If China do that, I will use that kind of energy.
But how are you going to afford the solar power? It's expensive. Where are you going to get the money from?
I say that I have that resource. That's the resource already. I have the station, but I didn't use it because that's not enough energy.
But the first you say you borrow money from China, right? But if you didn't have money, how can you use your energy?
I already have the station.
They already built a station for the solar power.
Yes.
Just don't use that.
You just need to use it.
Maybe you can cut some like the money for coal or oil to spend on the solar power. What do you think?
What about Brazil?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it uses a lot of hydropower to provide the energy. So I think it will be okay.
Do you use a lot of oil or coal?
Not really, but we use most is hydropower.
But will you agree to change your energy policy or blame electricity?
I think we can change a little bit by using by fixing from the transportation because we use a lot of cars, so we might use less cars and buses, bike, and
You have about 5 more minutes.
So I think China and USA both need to change their energy use. And also I think Australia needs to change too because in our country they use a lot of coal and oil. So I think we have to change energy use too. Like in our country, we had a lot of solar energy. We can use it. The money in our country is a little bit rich, so they can use money to build the station for the solar energy. So, Kathy, what do you think?
I still think China should change reduce their carbon dioxide output because I checked for the air quality index for Beijing today. It's like 166. That means their air is unhealthy. Like people cannot live. If people live in this area, they will cause many disease and death. So you guys cannot use that much cannot use that much coal and oil to make the air more dirty.
So China will want to change your energy use to make people healthy.
US and China, I think I agree with them because China have 6% energy is used in factory. I think you should change your energy use.
Do you agree with it? Change it. What?
So, you're saying that you're gonna change, right? So, why are you gonna do like change it and pollute this? Why will you choose wind power and solar power?
Yeah, the solution is nuclear energy, wind energy, and hydrogen.
Okay, so she's going to change her
How
energy
much?
policy. How much? 1 or 2, 3? How much?
Yeah. Two. China changed, so how about Canada? Yeah.
Yeah, same with China.
But they have 2 billion tons of CO2 have reduced and you have the same amount.
Say two.
I think USA has more carbon, produce more carbon dioxide than China per person. So,
Per person.
Yeah,
You mean
per person.
you say in USA, the carbon dioxide is the total is China higher than your country, but the per person is your higher. Your country is higher than China.
Yes.
So how can you change it? She said.
I can't change the person energy use because that's their freedom. Cannot control them.
You can make the law or
We are freedom country.
you can under the law, right? Yeah. We can under freedom but under the law.
I don't want to make a law to control the people.
So you can change your energy use.
But I can use the energy like build more like to replace the energy that we use.
Can I have a question? It's for Australia.
Australia.
Sorry. You say USA will need to change, but you per people is more than
I
USA.
say I will change it.
But how?
How much?
Like one. Like one. You say two. I
So we have five. We
Five
need,
them.
we need to reduce 7 billion tons.
Yeah.
So we
So
already
one
have 5. So Singapore reduce your energy.
No, because we produce so little like CO2.
So you mean not every country should be a part to reduce the.
Yeah, because you guys like China and United States, you're like the top of the CO2 emissions. So you guys should change a lot. But we are okay because we're not on the list.
You should. I think you should use more wind power because it will be. You have the advantage to do this one. So I think you should.
Yeah, I will do the renewable energy, but we're not going to change a lot because we're okay.
How many?
My
But
country
you
will
still product the energy that product carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah, I said I will change. Like,
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Would you change?
So, according to the Union of Concerned Scientists, so I have to be honest, South Korea is there. That means that we contaminate a lot. So, I compromised to change my energy policy by using more renewable sources. Only if USA reduces theirs.
I will.
CO2 emissions. You will.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I will change it.
A little.
Always, yeah. Like, how much do you need?
You say two. How about you?
2 billion. What?
Yeah, no,
One.
one.
I read one.
One. I.
So it will be 6 million.
No. Canada had one.
No.
Canada.
Yeah, it's Canada reduced 1, and China reduced 2, and United States reduced
7.
Yeah, so we don't get 7.
You got 7.
Carbon stone.
Okay, you solved all the world's problems. So now the inside circle is going to stop and listen, and the outside circle, 11th graders are going to report back. They're going to give us some ideas about what they heard in this conversation. So can we hear from the let's see here. Can we hear from Jose and Jacob first? Jose, can you go ahead?
So the strong thing that they did was speak clearly and loudly. Also, they gave good examples and reasons. The weakness is that some of they did not participate so much, and also the first they did not focus really well on the question, only at the end. Yeah.
And I heard they discuss more about the solution and types of energy. If I am in the circle, I will ask why US have to do the same thing as China. As you know, US is more rich than China.
Okay, why?
More rich? Okay, so we don't have time to go back and forth with the inside circle. That's Jacob's idea, right? Okay, so let's hear from the reporter. Rainbow will tell us about what the main ideas they decided on are.
They talk about the most energy is the renewable energy and the solar energy, and they also talk about how they reduce the carbon by 1 billion or 2 billion tons in each country.
Okay, Zizao was looking at how many times did they give evidence, citing evidence from some source. What did you find, Zizao?
And most top is Yanlu, top 30 top, and the second is Daniela, and the three is Kelly, and next one is Jairo and Mario.
Okay, let's see, Melissa, do you agree? You were counting the number of... Melissa was counting the number of times people were talking. What did you find?
More? Or people were talking more?
Yeah, well, any
Daniela and Kati spoke more. Yeah. And Carla and Jocelyn. Yeah.
Smaller. Okay, thank you. Kevin, do you have anything to add? What did you see? How many people talked? Who talked the most? The smallest amount?
Who spoke most was Jabu. No, I mean Jabu. Jabu who speak more. Was speaking more.
Okay, and Roberto, can you tell us, you were looking at how many times they were citing evidence. What did you find?
Well, I think Katy and Jerome and Daniela, they did the most. And the least one was Jocelyn and Andy and Karma.
Oh yeah,
So quiet there. Okay. So, okay. So, the last thing before, I want to hear some ideas from the 9th and 10th graders, but before that, I want to hear Huang was silent contributor, so if he was in the inside circle, Huang, if you were inside, what would you say to the group?
I would say 3 things that USA owe the World Bank $1.6 trillion, so you should say that, so then you don't need to reduce any carbon dioxide. And then I think China should respond more and blame Australia, because Australia also produces a lot of carbon dioxide. And Canada, why you agree with, like, okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Wang.
I love the way that Kathy, nope, say nope.
All right, thank you. From the 9th and 10th graders, do you have some ideas you want to share with the whole class or with the inside or a specific country? Or do you have some questions for the country in the inside? Some ideas or some questions for them?
Right. 9th and 10th graders, now is the time if you guys have anything that you, any opinions or questions or things you want to say to the people inside of the circle. Now is a great time.
Nothing?
So, I actually have one more question. Okay. I have one question for, who is it for the United States, for Calvin. My question was, so Calvin, you, or United States representative, you were very excited about lowering carbon emissions, I understood, by using renewable energy sources. Yeah, and I guess this is also for the other representatives. If you promise to lower emissions, then sometimes that means that you cannot have as many factories, right? Or you cannot produce as much